That's not all. For a monthly subscription of $510, you get 60 international channels from your favorite football leagues, news, African movies, telenovelas, cartoons, and much more. Get the decoder for $2,040, which comes with free installation, 24/7 customer and technical support all year round, and 1 month free subscription for only $510 thereafter. Get the decoder at XCAF Gambia, located at Hendon Court Building, former Dream Park, Senegambia, or through approved dealers. For more info, call 446-1060 or 446-1061. The world is at your fingertips with the XCAF DTD decoder.
When we touch down, better broke down.
Gamtel G-Fiber, now you can enjoy super fast internet in gigabytes. G-Fiber is affordable, stable, secured, and accessible to homes, businesses, and enterprises. With Gamtel G-Fiber, the future is speed. Gamtel, creating a brighter future in communication.
All right.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But
Don't you know about Baluwo?
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 What is Baluwo?
Baluwo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluwo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluwo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baluwo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria, or Mali. Baluwo, better than sending money.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3, or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings, 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464-838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
I get it.
Okay, mbijan aganya.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyinji.
Okay. Cosa? Nsila ID soto.
Sorry. I get it.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariaka. Mbare ki janna nun kunu bara tariaka.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbali ya bere. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong labe to.
56 branches mola sota Gambia jang.
Ha?
Gambia kono anin Gambia bantala bankol. Nka kodo kiya bere to. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Jannam number 1 di nyonta. Andum fana nata another enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi ma nin domorol di fana beteat. Gambia dawda yalo ma fa kendol sotale je.
Wo moyo diat.
Apelenta
ni waka ni lafta nyelen kendol e binaji.
Yalo bu kanyi la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Abaraka.
We live in a day and age where technology is creating a world without borders, filled with unlimited potential to improve the lives of the people around us. Innovarex Global Health ushers in a new way of leveling the playing field.
My apologies, I brought people in much earlier than I had announced. We were going to resume at 2:45 and 2:30. We were all seated here. Council, if you're ready, shall we proceed?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, we are ready to proceed with the witness. I believe the usher has gone to get him. Good afternoon, Mr. Jarju.
Council continue, Mr. Jarju.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I hope you had a good break.
Alhamdulillah, it was nice.
Were you able to have some TRRC lunch?
Yes, ma'am. It's been a great one.
Before we begin, I just want to remind you that you're still under oath.
Thank you, ma'am.
In the last session, we ended with you giving us a narration of some of the accidents that you witnessed within the presidential convoy.
That's correct.
In your capacity as a VIP convoy driver. We ended up with the Fode Jaula incident in the Funis. Can we continue from there?
Lavanta Fode Jaula accident kunyale la Funi. Bari ndafta nga continue kabo to katenteng.
Yes, ma'am.
Was he the only victim in that accident?
Atedamani mantoro soto accident kono bang.
Actually, he was not the only victim.
Tonya adama manke moti men yalonga da blato accident kono.
But he's the only guy who passed away.
Can you tell us what the fate of the other victims were?
Actually, the other two got fractures, I think. Because they were evacuated and overseas treatment.
And who were those two victims?
The two victims were Adama Jan.
Who was she?
She is a soldier as well.
Do you know where she is currently?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell us.
She is serving at the naval unit in Banjul Navy.
And at that point, what was her role in the convoy?
No tembo accident bakara tumuna atela do community convoy nyinkono.
She was also a bodyguard, but she's an officer, a bodyguard as well.
Afanamu bodyguard le di kantra la mari bari officer lam ke wala molen so yara kundaro.
What about the second victim?
The second victim is Fanta Jamme.
Mufulanja nying wala mfanda Jamme.
And who was she?
She is an adopted child to the former president.
And did she occupy any particular position? In the government?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that?
She was a protocol.
And you've already said that they suffered fractures. Can you give us more specific injuries about the nature of their, more specific points on the nature of their injuries? My apologies.
Actually, they were not plain, but what I know for Fanta, she got a neck problem. For Adama Jany,
but Adama Janta
was her leg.
And you said they went for overtrees treatment. Where were they taken to?
At first, they were taken to Dakar, Senegal.
Senegal.
Then later, they were taken to either Germany or Sweden, I think.
German or Sweden, killing them.
And what happened to Fode Jaula?
Fode Jaula passed away.
And was anything done in respect of his funeral?
Well, kulena takebang pulka tamandi ala kuoto ala membeko ala bade o Kenya.
Actually, we all went to the funeral.
And who was that include? We all went.
She was with us, so almost every one of us went.
So
you mean members of the convoy?
And even the sympathizers inside the State House.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, we went to the funeral. After the burial, we dispersed. So whatever took place, honestly, I don't know.
And this was a specific incident or accident involving members of the convoy who were working at the State House at that time.
Menu bedo kola min State House wo tembo wolle da tartani accident kono wo tumola.
How did their treatment differ from civilian victims who were usually involved in accidents around the convoy?
Telu ye topotoro men kela ani modelu la topotoro fatata nyaadi le men ya lon ko mu civilian leti men ya lon ko ne accident soto en convoy ni.
Actually for the accident that includes Fode and Adama Jany, it was very obvious. It was in my presence. But any other incident that happened out of the convoy, I don't know the protocol that takes over.
I am referring to accidents within the convoy and not accidents outside the convoy. Where you had victims who were civilians and not staff of State House or members of government.
Convoy la accident ni convoy da tarta kono bari menu baramata je kita civilian leti andu manke do kulalti membe sojarol kono wala membe do kola State House.
I cannot remember one unless I am informed.
But you clearly remember that in the case of Fode Jaula, the victims were taken overseas for treatment, that is those that survived, and then a delegation involving the entire convoy went to pay their respects to the family of Fode Jawla.
Bari hakilo muta Fode Jawla biring atela kuoketa convoy nyine mulu anim modulu mene balafa soto do kulalu itata mabe ala sangoto ala bade oto hanifo inate mako manu barawata kono ye bondijang ye samba itate jara banko e bantala.
That's correct.
In the case of the Arab or white man in the Bijilo accident, you couldn't tell us what had happened to the victim, whether he was even taken to the hospital or anything that the government did to actually pursue his family or anything like that.
But accident me alonko Arabo la komu wala mo koyonyi. Biru la accident keta malon fo ye kulon me alonko inatake ala koto wala mnyinti wala kata abadi mulia ala dimbaya lu wala la mulu fo kuta mande ala koto bang biring accident nyinata ke fa botala.
Actually, I don't know whatever protocol took over.
Tonya malo munkule naranata maje accident nyinkola.
But it is clear that you didn't attend any such event if it happened.
Bara ko ita ko etele mamma be akokundin to nim misali kamma ana atake fanan.
Not at all.
Anana manke.
Can we move on to the next accident? You mentioned an accident involving one Papa Chair.
Ngata accident do to accident for me along ko Papa Chair la wala tata accident ko.
That's correct.
Tell us his full name and where the accident occurred.
His name is Cherno Jalo. We call him Papa Che. We were going to Kanilai. When he was having this bulletproof vehicle.
Is that one of the reserve vehicles?
That's correct.
Tell us how the accident happened.
I can only tell me the way it is narrated to me, but I did not see it physically.
But you were in that convoy?
Yes, ma, but he was at my rear.
Just like Fode Jawla was at your rear.
In fact, he was more far than Fode.
And what position in the rear was he?
He is the last reserve vehicle at the rear.
And what position was Fode Jawla?
Fode Jawla
vehicles.
Fode Jawla was next to me because I'm the first reserve vehicle and he was the second.
Fode Jawla
And Cherno Jalo would be the third reserve vehicle, I assume.
That's correct.
Who narrated this incident to you and what did they tell you?
It was a hearsay when we reached our destination.
Who told you about the accident?
When we reached, it was the commander that received a call. And the matter was explained to him as per the accident.
And what information do you have about what had happened?
That as we were going to Kanilai, we were moving. When we reached Busumbala, the space that Papa Che lived in between the two vehicles.
Papa Che ala moto ni moto memba nyato ay jamfo men betema.
The distance was too much that somebody wanted to cross. Eventually, when this guy approached upon crossing the vehicle, the road, please. So then Papache almost reached him. So he tried to maneuver him. So the vehicle got twisted, and then there was a van parked just after the highway. So Papache's vehicle knocked at the van.
Can you tell us if the van was on the road or off the road?
The van was off the road.
And you're saying that Papache, in order to avoid hitting a pedestrian, had to basically divert.
A jenketa mole ya me ya lonko sinna tamala le moto pura akana otaki wala na natana ta nyimvalo otaki.
And that resulted in the accident.
Wala keta accident yindali loti.
That's correct.
Were there any casualties?
Mo soto ntele member mataje wala mensi faje.
I was told there were casualties.
How many casualties, if you know?
No,
I don't know the number.
But by the word casualties, it would mean it was more than one.
Niko casualties wala mnyenti morning kuketa menulaji siata mukili.
That's correct.
Do you know what happened to the vehicle itself?
That
Chernojalo hit.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened to it?
It got damaged.
How serious was the damage?
The
front was bumpy.
What do you mean by that?
The front of the vehicle got bumped.
It was smashed, you mean?
Yeah.
Do you know where those casualties were seated in the van?
That was not explained to me.
But it was serious enough that more than one person died in that van.
Yes, ma'am.
On this particular occasion, you were in Busumbala, which is an urban area in the Gambia. You were not in a village. What was the speed of the convoy then?
Alibebu Sumbala le dame ya lonko tenda la sate olong alimantara santo sate oto. Bari convoy ni laboro be nimboro membitakan abe nyadi la ila miroroto.
I cannot determine the speed.
Do you know what speed you were going at?
Yalon ne etafanga utumo nimboro membitaka ila speed abe tembele amento bang.
No, ma.
Honey.
But it's clear to see that he must have been driving very fast to be able to collide into that vehicle and cause more than one person to die.
Aseneata ko motoni mbabori kan sembo men na utumo ala awaratale hanfo birayo vano taki anata sababu hanfo men siata mo kilinti men fata motoni ko.
And also taking into consideration the nature of the damages to the vehicle you explained.
Anu fanang tinya men kata motola niu fanang cross ya jibe o fanang saita ndiko utumo boroni asembo wartale ni meye moto taki.
That's correct.
Thank you very much for that answer.
Inumbara ojabiroka.
Do you know what happened in relation to the victims in that particular accident?
Malo fosinalo mune keta umulu la munu fata accident to mune nata ke ila kuoto.
No, ma, I did not know.
But, and you didn't attend any funeral, even though you were part of that convoy?
Ebe convoy kono nyawnyandi bari manna tama be umulu dodo ndina bade oto.
Honestly not.
In the case of Fanta Jame, the protocol officer that you mentioned in the accident involving Fude Jaula,
Biri ya fanta jamela kumu memfo me ya lonko atarta accident kono fode jawla fata accident men kono.
Did you play any role in taking them on the overseas treatment that you mentioned that they participated in?
For ku tamandila bang ila makoro to purke sambakata jara rola banko e bantala biri accident kita foka pare.
Yes, ma.
Hade.
What did you do?
I was designated to be part of the drivers who drove them to Senegal.
Yengeta dabe mol lokono menu tombong pour kata moto borondi pour ke samba Dakar pour jaralo.
And how many drivers were there?
Driver jelle
We were 3.
Ndol driver sabalem.
Were you all VIPs?
Tell baby VIP control to mobile.
That's correct.
Walam tonyati.
On this particular occasion, were you assigned to take any of the victims that may have been involved in the accident? Anywhere?
For ye tombo ne purka o molu samba minu tarta accident ngon purka samba dulato bang.
We have received evidence that there were other victims who did not die but had suffered injuries in that accident.
Kaduna molu modul fana luso ndale minu baramata accident kono mamfa bari molu so tonda minu baramata je.
Yes, ma.
Hade.
What do you mean by yes? You went, you took them on overseas treatment?
For ayol fana samba jara rola le banta bang.
No, ma, I did not. Because I never knew about them, definitely.
And you don't know of any of your colleagues who were involved with them either?
I have never had any either.
Were you part of any delegation that was sent to the family of the victims to go and sympathize with them?
No, ma.
So as far as you know, that never happened?
That's correct.
Can we move on to the next accident? Can you remember what it was, or would you like me to remind you?
For hakilo samutale accident jumale wala ni laftansi hakilo bulandi.
That was the accident that occurred in Lamin.
Accident minkata Lamin sadot.
Please tell us about it.
And
before we start, actually, I would just like to remind you about the evidence you gave about the order of the convoy.
Mbe hakilo bulandi la janin betentena.
You mentioned the different groups that were involved in the convoy, the VIPs, military.
Yeah, for a group of VIP,
the principal car, and then you had the cars that followed the principal car, which included the stewards and the protocols.
Walem principal wala moto walem alpha bak be moto men kono anim moto lu men bulata noma walem wo kata moto lu men ba noma kata bula han fo stiwolo la moto men ya lon ko wal ka ko lu topoto mol men be konvo kono.
Yes, ma.
So it is correct that the steward's vehicle and the protocol vehicle are usually in the convoy.
So what akaketen ko stiwolo la moto ni protocol moto be katara convoy ni konole.
Yeah, usually they are, but not always, especially the protocols.
What do we katara jele baraman ke wado beti surtout protocol.
On this particular occasion, in the Lamin accident, was the protocol car within the presidential convoy?
Ni accident do men keta Lamin protocol moto da be convoy ko le bang.
Protocol vehicle was not part of the convoy.
Protocol motoning andam anam amantaranum convoy konon.
And can you tell us the circumstances surrounding this particular accident?
Sayang afonye ni accident men keta Lamin akunya lu sata nyaba keta nyame.
This accident happened before our arrival.
Ning accident kera jandin tol be futala.
When we reached the destination, we met already the car was inside the shop.
Birim futata dingira nyento accident kera damira ngatra moto nyinga dunda bidiko nyin konole.
Can you tell us what events were happening around that time?
Afanye mukule bekeka nu mafang la utumo.
I guess we were from a tour.
Njikiran bonnang banku be murumuru ngollat.
We were made to understand that he was traveling abroad to another West African country. Is that true or not?
Ngayim kibaro fanan ko anya abetama kan kabo banko kan kata bantala banko lukang fo akara wala nyama bang.
No ma, that was not the case.
Okay, tell us. Can you tell us where they were coming from?
We were from Kanilai. Normally what happens is if we are leaving a destination to a destination, sometimes the protocols will be asked to go before us or we will leave them there.
Wato dolbe je menka mendel da kake wala mindi ko nimbita be bola dingirato protocol li ka wala kanin wala ta follow to wala follow ta nyato e fuda dingirani no bita damendo.
That was exactly what happened. So they left before us.
Wala fonke da protocol wududa le jannin dolbe wudula.
It seems that all the accidents that were involved with the convoy, either they were coming from Kanilai or going to Kanilai, all the ones you've mentioned anyway.
Amunda ite accident mun be fo jang akake accident wala mintiko asike albobo kan nan Kanilai le wala albita kan Kanilai accident lu kake o tembole ko yemenu fo jang.
What was it about that route that made it so accident prone?
Mune ya sabu hanu fo silo mune accident siandiji.
It's by coincidence that it's supposed to be Kanilai.
Akakabila nyino ko aga feeling ka ngatara Kanilai.
Could it also have to do with the frequency of your visits to and from Kanilai?
Wala asekeno yimfanandiko allatanin na Kanilai wala financiata.
It could be, but I don't feel like that.
Asekeno barinto majo nyama.
You just believe it's mere coincidence.
Exactly.
Yamunda ite yaje ko anin kulle kabendro.
No.
And it had nothing to do with the way the drivers were driving or the convoy was moving.
I will not
say that because I know the competency.
I believe we've already covered that point and you've already given your evidence, but let's just move to the accident and just explain to us what happened.
Ngalon yo Kenya senendi nyine mutola tanya ni akulu kakeje nyame barsilang ngata accident nyim fangoto aketa nyame yo bonye nyoto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened.
Afanye mune kata.
On that particular incident?
Yes, please.
I said the accident happened before our arrival.
When
we reached, we already saw the vehicle was inside the shop. So we dare not to stop. We went and left the vehicle there.
Do you know the time span between when the vehicle got into the accident and the presidential convoy? How far apart was it?
Fayalon wato yirko kanyanta jellama accident ketata wato men anin convoy la tambi wato.
I did not calculate the time.
But from what you saw, the protocol vehicle left the road and went into a Mauritanian shop.
Bariya menje wala mindu protocol moto nying ay silo bula kata hanfo kadum muta sula la bitiko kono.
That's correct, but I don't know whether he was a Mauritanian. All I know is it was a shop.
You didn't
say it was an art shop?
It could be, but what I know, it was a shop.
Where was the vehicle facing?
It went across. It was across, almost across.
So it wasn't facing straight? It was on its side, that's what you're saying?
No, the head of the vehicle already get inside the shop.
And which direction was the vehicle heading to?
The vehicle was going towards Banjo.
And what side of the road was the shop situated at?
Coming from Banjulunding is by your right.
And obviously the shop was located across the highway.
Amunta bitcoin abe karatanta omenna je ababari abe stilindi silabalela.
That's correct.
Well, I'm told that.
So instead of going straight, the vehicle had diverted. I believe it must have been towards its left.
Amunta woto pulka tenten katilin kata woto accident nata ke ko moto silo bula ajenketa ay silo bula nata tilin kata dumo bitiko kono.
Or was it on the right?
Fodu akata bulubale la fomara.
It was on the right.
Akata bulubal.
As far as you're concerned, what could have been the cause of that accident?
Saying itala jero to munesike sababu to meyo accident sabu.
It could be speed.
But
an accident is an accident.
Was it caused by speed or it could have been caused by speed?
Asikeko motola borole ya sabu bang fodu boro fongo Kenya wole accident ni sabu.
That I cannot determine because I was not there.
According to your statement, you said that the accident could have only been caused by overspeeding.
Ila kuma kama tude yenye mfoko accident wenye asekeno kukilimti mensa sabu wole lanatambi boro.
Said it could have been. That is a probability.
Kavoko asekeno cooled.
Only.
Only.
That word is in your statement.
It
could have only been caused by overspeeding.
Only. Wala nyentiko doron ne sa sabuno.
Still is the mind. I am speaking by mind, but not physical.
Let's look at the circumstances of the evidence. You have a car that is going towards Banjul, veers on its right and goes into a Mauritanian shop. Tell us the damage that it caused.
You mean inside the shop?
Of course, yes.
I did not witness that.
You saw the car? And it was inside the shop. Tell us what you witnessed.
Seeing the car inside the shop doesn't mean that I should know the damages that it caused.
How could a car enter into a building without causing any damage?
It could cause damage, but remember, I'm also on a steering wheel.
So you agree that it caused damage in entering the shop?
Of course, by seeing.
We've also received evidence to suggest that there were a lot of victims.
I will
not dispute that because I was not there.
We know that you were not there, but you've told us of other instances where you were informed by other drivers or your convoy commander. What information did you receive this time around?
Bari kmolu kafute maleka menu foye ko edo kunyolu sa foye wala convoy commander nyi fonsi kuma foye accident nyi koto yo laftalo na ete kibar façon men soto accident nyi to nke nyi ka wala.
But this time around I did not receive any information pertaining to a casualty.
Nyintembe na nyinsila dole manghani kibar soto me alonko aketa kasuji nyi barol ko la men kadate.
We were told that there were several casualties which included students of St. Peter's.
Na nyimwe ko mo jama fata kono me yalon ko St. Peter's karambula talibol le molti.
It could be, but I cannot attest to that.
Asikiano barento sabatindi nola.
Who was the driver involved this time?
Jumala mumoto sambalati utumu member moto burundika.
He is called Musa Koli.
Atomo Musa Koli lede.
Was he a civilian or military?
Atemu civilian letiba mfu soja role mari.
Yes ma, he was a civilian.
Civilian ola mari.
And I know the distinction between accepting that he was overspeeding because he was a civilian driver as opposed to admitting that your colleagues in the military were overspeeding.
Ngalon katemu civilian di barbiton koni ajibe kafunyolo anim menvesilo kan dolu ya fokotonya anim boro membita kan wala finance mbo warta.
You were very quick in this case to admit that he was overspeeding.
Bari tariata ka foko nyi silo de anim bori bale bita kan.
Can you come again with the question? I don't understand.
In a case of a civilian driver who was not part of the presidential convoy, you were very quick to agree that he was overspeeding, as opposed to your military colleagues within the convoy who basically you refused to admit that they were overspeeding, and you said they always conducted themselves very professionally and competently.
Amunta silo wairi ni mari mu civilian walti itariata kasonko animburi bale bitakan menning dolu fanala Kenya fatata men ya lonko mu sojar driver leti men ya lonko tarta accident lu kono andu wala karola imallo ka fuko inimburi bale bitakan amunda fatam fanso be woleto aka wala bonyoto.
When you come to the convoy, we have civilians who are very good and they have never got accident before.
Ni na convoy or Carola. Na civilian drivers or many along ko better hata bakele driving na Carola and ina namang double na dana na mambula accident la kur.
Just kindly answer the question, please.
I am not biased. It's what I know. What I know is what I'm saying.
Mam tara fasarla. Ngamel londron ka wala fo.
I didn't say that you were biased.
But
it's interesting to note that you used that word. Again, this was a very serious accident involving multiple victims. Did you attend any funeral or take any of the injured to overseas treatment, for example?
Yo bari fodun allamulu katai fongola fo mo soton tale minutata mabe wo bade oto wala fali se mo mako yiwulu kono ke samba jara rola banko e bantala.
That I don't remember.
Oden hakilo mauma.
You don't remember attending a funeral?
Hakilo mamuta kafo isimabe bade to bang.
Where a victim who was involved in an accident in the presidential convoy died?
Deme ya lonko mo fata accident to bring convoy be borikan in me accident ke siloka.
And this was not just one victim we are talking about. These were multiple victims. These were children, school-going children. It was a very tragic event.
Aro ni mukule teme ya lonko amanda mo kilin na saya ala de mo jamal le fata je alum ni ni ajibe dindingol lam militi men ya lonko bit karamundo dindingol lam famo.
That's right. I was not aware.
Tuanya, but ndamo kalamuta.
Is it not the case that nothing was done usually in these kind of situations, and that's why you were not aware and you did not attend?
Oto mosafuko fe wofen mambo manke nyindindu la kwoto wala yakendi imambo femfen kalama menti tama dindu nyilla kwoto.
Be quite honest, that is what I cannot attest to.
Let's look at the incidents surrounding the throwing of biscuits during the presidential convoy.
Biscuit fayo men kake president ngabe tamala wala convoy ne be borikan aka biscuito lumen fay ngo fana njibe ba.
You were present during those occasions, weren't you?
Ikatarle mabela wo silo doluto nabe tamasilo kan kabiskito lufay ngamera dolukete nyalale.
Yes ma'am.
Hade.
Looking at the purpose of the convoy and the fact that it was supposed to provide protection to the president and be very security conscious, would it be normal to have the convoy stop or slow down mid-traffic and then for the president to be throwing biscuits and passers-by to be coming towards the incoming traffic?
Ni ajube convoy na bitakan menno be convoy nyin kono wala do ko mo nyin pour ka president o kanta ka tankandi yo bari bitu ni ajibe ni bitakan wonya motolu kesi motala hanfo president kana ka biskito lu fay andu no be ke kan molu ka kidinanne pour kana o biskito lu ta wo ko Kenya ni ajube wo dun ete yo je nyadi.
It could be, but it cannot be determined by me because I'm too junior.
Asikia no la barente to ko nyin ta sabati dino la karo watu ndela makamandinati.
Isn't that creating a dangerous situation even to the security of the own president?
Fodu wote keno la saraboti mensi masibo sabu konvoyo masafo katabu la president fonga la tankoma.
We are soldiers, we are bound to live in any terrain and any situation.
Can you answer
the question, please? And keep in mind that you were a VIP at that time. You were offering close protection services to the president. You were his personal bodyguard.
Jejabi katotumo itebe VIP makamole kono andun atelle mulu timeni alonko alikata da president la nyin kamala purka kanta katankandi femfem mamme alonka si wulino atakama.
You have been trained to spot out security risks and threats.
Andu yali karandile pour femfem sikeno mantora koti mensina sababu convoy nyima alisio jeno la aliya sute ni misali kama wokufoso yetilina convoy la.
And that is why you were actually on that convoy to offer him protection. So your opinion matters. It doesn't matter whether you were junior or not. And as far as I'm concerned, you were not that junior. You had been on that convoy for a very long time.
Oto convoy kono ibijele andum imu dindinti bang imu kebati bang convoy nyin kono fanatara ibije bari itela miraro moment ite so fono lentelie ko nyin tamata nyamin pour ite fonga yaje nyamay.
Military doesn't work like that.
So yare kundaro akol bota wanyama.
Even by the fact that you know that this is what is happening and you have superiors ahead of you.
Na da ite fonga londo ro yalon ko nyine be nyine la fitake bar ninga tumala men e mol so me be nyaro.
Everything works by order.
We understand that, Mr. Jarju, but tell us whether this situation was creating a dangerous situation or not.
Now, belo ne Mr. Jarju, bari kolu beke kanu nyame wonya. Leftalo na fo, wasima sibo sababu no lebang fo ata sababula.
The orders you received were quite a different thing.
Your order mendiala, kanu mendiala, mo kudo le fananti afaye.
Which situation do you mean, ma?
The situation of the president throwing biscuits whilst the convoy was moving.
President biscuit fayo moluma moluka kidinan kanakama adu yatra convoy bitakan.
And having members of the public approaching the convoy.
Andu jamaa molu neo biskito le faikan ikanale purkana convoy mafana purka biskito tombo.
You agreed in your statement that it was a difficult situation to maneuver.
Of
course, sometimes we face those difficulties.
And that's precisely the point. So was it a dangerous situation that you were trying to maneuver?
Could be, but it doesn't happen all the time.
We are not talking about when it doesn't happen. We are talking about when it does happen. When it does happen, is it a dangerous situation or not?
Mantara foka na manke mkole na keta fo wo manke kukole mtime ya lonko aketa mantora koti umoli.
If it happens, of course, it could be a dangerous point.
Ninga atara kela tonya abakela kulime lonko kujaole muwaro.
Thank you. And can you tell us what you wrote in your statement about this difficult situation that you were trying to manage?
Sai inumbara afanye mbari afanye yemen safela kumakango kono wo kukola ngulu watu la alika katanya mpuru albekulu sambala nyame mu kukola ngulu bekeri afanye.
On the side of the biscuit, you mean?
Biscuit if I only in Carola bang?
Yes, please.
That is if a biscuit is thrown.
Well, I mean the biscuit or fight.
When the wind is blowing and then the biscuit will come back and try to roll over the road.
Ninga tra fonyo be kering ay biscuit on fay fonyo kan biscuit on murundi na ka fay manokan.
You know, sometimes kids don't even identify that a convoy is coming. What they interested is just to go and get the biscuit.
Alon dinni ngol nyimo wol buka fa bono nyoro ka fa ko moto kanala wol hakilo ka tara menga wala ka biscuit on ka tombo.
So obviously you being the driver, the only thing you can do is to maneuver.
Ite be mu driver nyini ite be menkeno wala nyindi don ka kata ka bori.
Escape.
Kana.
Escape of actually hitting that particular child that you mentioned.
Wala nyinti puru ka tanka dindigo nyin tampo wala me yalonko alaftana la biskito nyin tombona.
That's correct.
Wala mtonyati.
That is a creation of a very dangerous situation right there, Mr. Jarju.
Amunda umukule time yalonko umukukole mbale sababu time yalonko akakewnya Mr. Jarju.
If you would say that.
I'm not saying it. The circumstances speak for themselves.
You
You're on the road, your president is throwing biscuits.
The
biscuit is landing on the highway. The convoy is still moving. Children are coming on the highway to pick up those biscuits. And you are trying to maneuver to avoid hitting them. And you're telling me that's not dangerous?
We are trained to face any other difficulty in the convoy. So it was not something difficult for us.
Despite the fact that your statement says that it was a difficult situation, and you said it again sitting right there, this was not about you, it was about those children you were trying to avoid.
Koya fela statement o kono yame ko fon ko koleniti andu fon siri mo jam kotake isaita kan bar bitu o dinnu lumel lumbela ko mo fokan wol atawol amantara wala karola wonya.
It was a dangerous situation for them. You even said that these children don't even know whether the cars are on the road. They are not even aware of that. As far as they're concerned, they're running after those biscuits.
Kusangara bala mo dindingul ye ko ita fon ya fon yame ko akwa wairi bigo biscuitol be jolon kan sino kan umu kusangara leti o dindingul ye men ya lon ko ka wulinan ka fo bita o biscuitol tombol la sino kan.
We were able to survive the situation.
Unfortunately, those victims were not able to survive, and many of them were crushed under your vehicles.
Ketabala fati atel kanata de bari mo jama so don taw molu kono men yalon ko imankana alamuto liberté kan yefa.
Where and when?
Minto ani wari juma.
Do you remember any accidents happening?
The accidents that I mentioned, those are the accidents I remembered. I cannot imagine remembering an accident that is in connection with biscuit throwing.
We have received a lot of evidence to suggest that a lot of accidents happened during that time.
Na sede ya kulu suto jamme ya itandiko accident jamale keta watu men akao biscuit fayoluke.
And the situation you have described, giving evidence right now, tends to corroborate that evidence we have received.
Andu itafanga ya faja nyaming wo mukule time ya lonko ayo sede funo la kumoto nya yandile ka foko wo mukule time ya lonko aketa kukole multi.
This is just another case of you denying knowledge of certain particular circumstances, again to protect the president.
Ni mukule ti do me ya lonko ye ibaso so kam koteke ni kamala ibe president ni na tankande kay malla fe itoku ya forma ni ko kono.
If I was protecting the president, then I would have not mentioned all the accidents that I mentioned.
Talking about this particular incident of throwing biscuits and not the other accidents.
I have never remembered any. If I could, then I would have said it.
This dangerous situation that was created by the throwing of biscuits, did anybody, any of your commanders, advise Jame that this was a security risk, that it was dangerous for civilians?
Nyim ko me yalon ko yafata keta ku ko lamati membe keri no woto mo nyim biskiti fayo falla komandalu wala nyaton ko lu mo man soto ko no men si jamme ya mari nyim nako nyim be ku ko lembale sababu kan molie men yalon ko ketara silo kan fo manke.
That is not my role and my responsibility.
To know?
To know if they advise him about it.
And would you agree that they would be too scared to do so, even if they were to have the opportunity?
How can you be scared with someone you are working with and then knowing that if you suggest anything to him, it might be a problem? People suggest to him, of course.
Sila no la mola nyadi le ini member do gola ka foko ye miro le sota e buru me anon ko abe ko le ala sabe afa do member so do mo kono ba ina be do gola.
And you drove Jame so many times, did you make that suggestion?
Ita fango jam sambale sinya jama bari fayna ne okumo fayna ba.
Seeing as he was so welcoming of advice from junior officers.
Foka jako akasongi ya marolu talale akadiae me yalonko kabo moluda menu bate fango duma.
If you know how it works, you will know it was not my role and my responsibility.
Nialon ko kata nyame balo na ko nyin amanken na kulungunda dunori ando amanken na do ko di purka oke.
But the fact remains that it was your commander's role and responsibility to do so.
Bari muto nya lori ngulti ko alla komanda o mala lon kunto dunoleti andun ala lodula lem purka oke kawo ya marodi.
And the fact that this practice did not stop shows that they definitely did not fulfill that responsibility.
Andu ni ay fintita ko wairi akonyin e manna bula kontinentale uto ya itandiko itel mai la lodula tamandi.
It could have been not only the commander. It could have been any other person different even from the commander.
Asikeno atakeno la commander found rondi. Asikeno model from the mialon ko anin commander fartale.
It was the convoy commander that was in charge.
Bari convoy commander memu convoy ni nyaton koti wala be maralin convoy la wotembo.
Could have only been his role.
Asikeno atella do ko mo convoy be takan tembo me.
Yes, ma. It could have been the right of any citizen to condemn it.
We were not
part of the convoy. It was military personnel, VIPs, that were part of that convoy.
It could have been challenged in another way. Another way that, you know, he could have had it.
Mr. Jarju, you just answer the question directly.
Mr. Jarju,
referring to your commanders here and not members of the public who do not have that obligation.
La commander menu katara konin kono mbe wallema we kata walle asilo soto walle be ko kono bare civilian no yalla wutumo wolte okeno la wairi tije.
Yes, ma'am.
Are
you agreeing or not?
Commanders, they can do that.
Commander also okay, no?
But it's clear that they never did. Otherwise, the practice would have stopped.
In the case of throwing this biscuit, this is what I'm saying. It's not only soldiers who can even address this matter. It could have been ministers, it could have been any other person who can address it and he will hear about it. So it was not only the responsibility of commanders.
Miski fa wala ko ra man kan yindi soja rol do commander drone la don kan da duno mu burka ko nyi ndiama e pura ayabula minister la ni ko ko tangole be sa keno le ndiama e pura ko nyi ayamoy asabula.
We will leave the point and allow the commission to deduct whatever they want to from your answers.
La janne saimba bula la commission bulu itelefon ya jube ya jaba kesoto itelienta silo mentala je.
The evidence is overwhelmingly clear.
Let's
move on to other incidents where convoy members attacked members of the public.
Ngata kudo luto meni alonko convoy la mulu men be convoy kono ye modulu boyinkan meni alonko be siloka.
Are you aware of such situations?
Situations like
where
members of the convoy attacked members of the public.
We
have several instances of beating by convoy members and even shootings where members of the public or road users were deemed to have obstructed the road.
Kibaro mwele anin kukote ngulumene keta hani kidifayo kabunduroke silo kan dame yalonko konvoyo la molu iwole yoke silo kan kafoko amunda umolu lafta kundula konvoyo le nyato.
Beating and shooting?
Liparo kamu anin kamu bung?
Can we be serious here, Mr. Jarju, and answer the question?
It's serious. Hitting somebody because of convoy moving?
Can you answer the question? That is what exactly was happening in this country. Are you not aware?
I am not aware.
I'm not surprised by your answer. And what about treatment of staff at State House? You were a member of staff? You told us obviously you had no problems with Yaya Jammeh. And that is why you have defended him so well during this session. However, tell us what happened to your colleagues. I'm sure you're aware of how he maltreated some of them. Some were sent to jail. Kindly tell us what you know.
What are the scenarios that caused to their jail? Let me hear the story. I'll tell you.
That is the question I am asking you.
Because you are telling me the obvious things that I am favoring him, and I think I will not come here to hold the Quran and swear just to favor an individual and fear God.
You have told us in your statement that you are aware of instances when he sent his staff to Mile 2. That is what I want you to talk about.
This is why I told you to remind me. It's a statement that I am not even given. So I wrote this statement almost a month back. Remind me.
We have to go through this again, Mr. Jarju.
I am a human being and I am bound to forget. This is a statement that I gave and it's been long. I cannot remember all.
Do you remember the 2 convoy drivers who were involved in an accident with the First Lady?
Yes, ma, I can fully remember.
Were they not sent to Mile 2 by the President?
Yes, ma, they were sent to Mile 2.
Was that fair?
I cannot attest as to whether it is fair or not because I was not an investigator to know where it ends. Leading to Mile 2.
As military, are you not part of the law enforcement mechanisms in this country?
Yes, ma.
Are they?
So you ought to be aware of the law. Do you know if due process was followed in that case?
This is why I said I cannot attest to that, because normally whatever happens, there must be an investigation. So where the investigation lead to, I don't know.
Are you aware that they were taken to court?
I was not aware of that.
And that shows it didn't happen because you were aware that they went to Mile 2. And in that case, it was clearly wrong that they were taken straight to Mile 2 without any due process. And I would just like to read a statement before we finish with your testimony about what you wrote about President Jammeh. And maybe this will help us to understand why perhaps you take the stance that you do in in your testimony today.
It
says that the former president Yahya Jammeh was very much sincere. He always gives to people he knows and knows not. I assume you imply he was very generous. He was very much particular about things and events that happened. And when you have any event, he participates unless he is not aware. Some of these accidents are not true. They are mere rumors. And the way people are saying things, sometimes they will not understand unless they are part of it. I will allow the Commission to make their deductions concerning those statements you've made in light of the evidence that you've given before. We thank you very much for your testimony. Mr. Chairman, we hand over the witness to you finally.
Thank you, Counsel, and thank you, Mr. Jarju, for coming to testify before the Commission. Commissioners, if you have any questions, please indicate. Commissioner Kinte, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Kinte,
good afternoon, Mr. Jarju.
Mr. Jarju,
good afternoon, sir.
I want to ask you about the accident involving Lamin Jai.
Left in the accident of Maya Lonko, Lamin Jai Tatawaka, Jawla Banfonjai.
Silla. Lamin Silla.
Lamin Silla.
Yes, sir.
Which part of Lamin's car knocked the other car?
Lamin la moto minto mafane moto do nyintaki.
Right in front.
What about the other car? Which part of the car was knocked?
Moto do nyin. Memni Lamin la moto nyotaki. Wo moto minto mafane takiroke.
So this is why I said I cannot confirm that, because we were in a move. We met the accident already occurred. You will know that there is an accident, but you cannot stop. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are He's not there. Fine. Mr. Jarju, if you have any final remarks to make, please proceed to do so now.
Mr. Jarju, ne kuma soto silang ita fanan bela kacha kumfala menna. Sai finansi kuma kangaluf.
Thank you, sir.
Baraka.
I am thanking the whole Gambia.
The Gambia mobe tentula.
By telling them that let them know that we are citizens. We have equal rights as any other Gambian. We are not in this color to maltreat anybody. We are in this color to protect the integrity of this country. Protect their life and properties. We are acting as servants to them. The idea they think about soldiers, let them sit and think about it. Having seen foreign soldiers in our country, is not helping. We are soldiers that are bound to work with any president that comes. we must be loyal to any president that comes.
President wo president nata tol nyenna kala molati sojaro la karolo me alonko nyenna na kanoni na so tandila male.
No matter how long a stick lives in water,
comme ya fo nyame ko josi yirosi me jokono nyaonya,
it shall never turn to a crocodile.
Atakeno la bambodi.
No matter how long foreigners stay in our country,
luntangol medal na banko kan nyaonya,
they must go one day.
Lumnana be soro lay ba fula nyele ko ankatale.
We are from you people,
mbodal toleya,
and to you we shall go back to.
Andum be murlal tolel fanankang.
Yeah, you have shown a very big impact. TRRC is definitely educative.
Ale ku bale tandi jang TRRC mu dingira do me alonko abe londo la dika molla.
Let us learn to forgive and forget.
Nga katakul fere nga karanga nga yamfa nyoe.
Every human being is a sinner. But it is good for one to know his wrongs and goods. I am appealing to the TRRC that they have made almost everything clear on the ground here. Except one thing that I want them to observe about. 1994 coup was clearly spelled out here.
1994 coup d'etat ni mukula miano ka senata.
11/11 was clearly spelled out here.
11/11 fana wo fana kera coup miano ko fana senata jang.
But the coup of 2014 December was not clearly spelled.
2014 coup d'etat ni mukula miano ko man senaya folo.
We want to know
lafta lonnale
who are the cause
jumalle ma sababoti
and who are the pioneers
jumalle aku tabi
and the countries involved.
Anim bankol memba ko koma.
Because if they could have succeeded, we would have been victims. So definitely it's a cause for concern for us to know. Apart from that, you know, I had a journalist who said that the Gambia doesn't need an army, that we are surrounded by Senegal. Each time we need an intervention, we will call upon them to come and intervene. I want everybody to understand that Gambia is a sovereign state. In fact, we speak two different languages. So let us not fool ourselves. We are a sovereign state. We are here to stand for ourselves. Putting more light on what the last person said here, that is Lamin Silla. He said about soldiers who passed away. This is a cause for concern to all the soldiers. We want the TRRC to invite the wives of the dead soldiers who passed away, who were either slaughtered, massacred, or they are dead in the convoy. Let them give them a chance to hear as we had others' wives. Who are if they don't come here, we will not know how they feel. And their husbands died for this country. Mr. Commissioner.
Mr. Commissioner.
I wish I can hold the Quran. So that everybody will believe what I am coming to say here. When Lamin Silla gave his last remarks here, I was with Council Saga in her office. I did not hear about Lamin Silla's testimony, but members of the TRRC I heard of. I heard them saying that Degal guy Lamin sila last living final testimony ambi. Mungewa affaire farafenye affaire how to call it carton.
Aliya
daf di suñ affaire.
Aliya mwele Lamin sila la kuma kan laban rabe men fo kan farafenye la carton boy kan wol men keta je wol man ken to la hajiti.
I felt sad.
I
regretted why I became a soldier that day.
From
that day up to day, I could not sleep. Because I know the essence of this uniform is to die for this country and nothing more. Be rest assured, Gambians. We take this oath to save this country, and to this country we shall die for. I am sorry if I may wrong anyone. Thank you very much to all the TRRC members.
Point of order. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Jarju, for your testimony. We will come to a close now and go on to Council. Who is the next witness?
I have Mr. Ibu Jarju waiting to...
We need a 5-minute break for that suspension.
Perhaps just 1 minute, but in the meantime, before the witness leaves, I just wish to say that the TRRC agenda was set by a national legislation, and that is what we go by, not the dictates or the wishes of a particular individual.
Lieutenant Senandila Janko, TRRC la lotan kango, député bumule yo kango londi nyimbanko kang, bari amanke nyintiko mo kilinul siwuli ila kumakangulu ka for TRRC setama ulula.
And the Commission has already identified the issues it would look into, and it would continue to do so according to the rules that have been established by the Commission.
Alun komiso ya jubele ye kulu bonyoto le inyanta menu jubela alun wasarto li aitandi ko kulle molti men ya lon ko ye nyala tombonne komiso nyanta menu la kulu menu bola nyoto ke bonyoto.
This is supposed to be an inquiry into human rights violations.
Ni mukisi leti pour hadama ya nyanto lu menu tinyata.
It is not an investigation for those whose husbands died in the line of duty.
Manke ko mbe kisikisiro le kala puru molu meni ya lonko ikenyolu fata ila do ko kono.
So therefore, if the investigations does not incorporate that, they should understand that it is simply because those who are not human rights violations.
Woto nin kisikisiro manfuta woluma.
Thank you.
Italinyanta lon naleko. Woto wolum da mantara hadama ya nyanta tinyalu kono ntelinyanta menu wanyarla. Ala baraka.
Council, you are very kind and polite to respond to these issues that were raised out here. We will take a 5-minute suspension and then bring in the next witness. Thank you very much, Mr. Jarju, for meeting is suspended.
Hello Gambia. Your television experience is about to be transformed to the next level. Enjoy amazing features with the new DTT decoder by XCAF. Watch television in high definition and excellent sound quality. Watch Gambian channels such as GRTS, QTV, Star TV, Paradise TV and MTA with one decoder, all for free. That's not all. For a monthly subscription of $510, you get 60 international channels from your favorite football leagues, news, African movies, telenovelas, cartoons and much more. Get the decoder for $2,040, which comes with free installation, 24/7 customer and technical support all year round, and 1 month free subscription for only $510 thereafter. Get the decoder at XCAF Gambia, located at Hendon Court Building, former Dream Park, Senegambia, or through approved dealers. For more info, call 446-1060 or 446-1061. The world is at your fingertips with the XCAF DTD